gathered to hear Black students talk about the recent disorders with the Ohio National Guard on their campus. Word spread quickly that another rally, one to oppose the invasion of Cambodia, was scheduled for Monday, May 4th at noon. Friday night, one of the first warm evenings of spring, several hundred students gathered in downtown Kent. A spontaneous anti-war rally began in the street. Twice, while the rally was in progress, passing police cruisers were hit with beer bottles. Afterwards, police stayed away from the area. Meanwhile, more people were leaving the bars. Many in the crowd chanted anti-war slogans, and a bonfire was set in the street. The crowd blocked traffic for about an hour and moved toward the center of town. Some members of the crowd began to break windows. Primarily political targets were attacked, including banks, loan companies, and utility companies. After being informed of the events, the Kent mayor declared a state of emergency and arbitrarily ordered all bars closed. Kent police, along with the mayor, then confronted the crowd. The riot act was read, and police proceeded to clear the area. People inside the bars were ordered to leave, forcing hundreds more into the streets. The crowd was herded toward the campus with tear gas and nightsticks, which was in the opposite direction in which some of them lived. 14 persons, mostly stragglers, were arrested. About $5,000 in damage was done, as 43 windows were broken, 28 in one bank. Saturday, May 2nd, 1970. On the morning of May 2nd, some Kent State students assisted with the downtown cleanup. Rumors of radical activities were widespread, and Kent's ROTC building was believed to be the target of militant students that evening. During the Vietnam War, students on many college campuses opposed the presence of ROTC and were successful in forcing the removal of ROTC from their campuses. A dusk-to-dawn curfew was imposed on the city of Kent, and students were restricted to the campus. At 5 p.m., shortly after assessing the situation, the mayor alerted the Ohio National Guard. KSU officials were unaware of this decision. Shortly after 8 p.m., about 300 people gathered on the Commons, where a few anti-war slogans were chanted and a few brief speeches given. An impromptu march began, and participants headed toward the dormitories to gain strength. Large numbers of people joined the march. The now 2,000 marchers swarmed the hill overlooking the Commons and crossed the Commons. Then they surrounded the ROTC building, an old wooden World War II barracks that was scheduled to be demolished. Windows were broken, and a few persons eventually set the building on fire. Plainclothes police who were standing nearby made no attempt to stop the students at this point. Firemen arrived on the scenes, but their actions were abandoned because some of the crowd attacked firemen and slashed their hoses. The blaze quickly died out. The firemen eventually regained control, and the building was ignited again. This time, however, firemen arrived with massive police protection. Police surrounded the building and dispersed the students with tear gas. The firemen again got the fire under control. The crowd then moved to the front of the campus. The students retreated to the Commons to find the ROTC building smoldering at both ends. Within minutes, the building was fully ablaze. The crowd then assembled on the wooded hillside beside the Commons and watched as the building burned. Many shouted anti-war slogans in the first 2 weeks of May, 30 ROTC buildings would be burned nationwide. Armed with tear gas and drawn bayonets, the Guard pursued students, protesters, and bystanders alike into dormitories and other campus buildings. Some stones were thrown, and at least one student was bayoneted. The question of who set the fire that destroyed the ROTC building has never been satisfactorily answered by any investigative body. Sunday, May 3rd, 1970. May 3rd was a relatively quiet day. By now, however, the campus was fully occupied by Ohio National Guard troops.